You recently, this year, well, last year, you actually Dungeon Mastered for the very first time.
That's right.
I was producing
because
a show
you.
for LEGO, and you were the Dungeon Master.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
So it started out as terrifying.
Yeah.
But terrifying in the right way. Like terrifying in that way that like you know you're doing something that scares you that you should be doing so it doesn't scare you anymore. For years and years and years and years, friends, particularly Marisha Ray, God love her, my patron saint of gaming, have been trying to get me to DM, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm in charge of life. I can't possibly do things where I'm in charge of anything. But getting to do it with you guys, and especially for that Lego one shot with the dream cast and the beautiful adventure that was written, it was just like, oh, I get to be in charge of fun. This is why it's fun to be a DM. It's because I get to be in charge of fun.
What did you kind of learn from that experience? Do you have any advice for new Dungeon Masters?
Yes.
I mean, were you nervous about that?
I was nervous, but I was the nervous that you get when you're excited as opposed to the nervous you get. So nervousness and excitement to me are the exact same physical manifestation. It's just that one is when you think everything's going to go wrong, which is nervousness, and one when you're thinking about all the fun things that could happen, which is excitement. But it feels the same physically. So I try to lean into, look, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong, and I'll deal with it then. Let me lean into all the things that could be fun about this. And so, yes, I was nervous excited at that point. I was really, really excited. But, I mean, honestly, my advice to new DMs is just have fun, because literally that's your job, is to have fun and help the people around you have fun.
Yeah.
And yes, you get to decide the story, and you're building a world and all of these things, but it is ultimately at the service of your players and ultimately to have a great time. At least in my experience it was.
Did you, because you are an incredibly accomplished actress.
Thank you.
So doing role playing should be pretty easy for you.
Well, look, there are a lot of voices in my head.
Yeah.
Some of them get recorded for my career. Some
Right.
of them don't get recorded for my career, and they ended up in the Lego one shot. So yeah, I mean, look, role playing, to be honest, I honestly think TTRPGs of all kinds have helped my acting tremendously, because when you are at the table with your friends and playing the game, you are the actor and the writer's room, right? You are committed to the story in a way where you have ownership over it that you don't always feel when someone hands you a script and you're saying their lines and you are putting meaning to it and you are creating your thought process, but it's not organic necessarily to you. So being able to be a part of something where all of these journeys that the characters go on are very organic to you, organic to me myself, enabled me to tap into my emotions a lot easier, and has enabled me to find a certain facility that I didn't necessarily have, or I didn't feel like I had as much as I do now playing TTRPGs.
I love making new characters. I'm obsessed with it, and one of the ways that I love to do that is through HeroForge.com. You can make virtually any type of character you want, and now you can take anything from HeroForge and print them out inside of your own customized dice. HeroForge custom dice literally offer a story in every roll. They're 3D printed using the same process as HeroForge's color printed minis. The clear material of the dice is printed in exactly the same layers as the item. The character is bust inside, resulting in a solid and perfectly weighted dice. Anything that you can find on HeroForge.com can be added into the dice maker and printed out in dice form. Do visit HeroForge.com to start designing your custom miniature and dice today. Check back often. They are constantly updating the website with brand new content. You must have great advice on character, because you get to play so many characters, like, I mean, famously like Overwatch and Symmetra, but you also think a lot about what that character is going to be. Like, you played, I mean, spoiler alerts for this show, but you played a gold dragon, and you had this gravitas.
Well, I'm glad you thought so. Really, for the gold dragon part, I mean, if I'm full disclosure, my goal was really just, Astarion is always so in charge of the sexuality and so confident and so certain that he's going to be one that sweeps everyone off their feet. I wanted to make sure that there was someone who could go toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah.
And why not make it a gold dragon? So if a gold dragon is going to show up in human form, they're going to know how to knock anyone off their feet. And so that was kind of what I was more going for, not necessarily the gravitas so much as a you can't rattle me.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. I don't care if you're the hottest vampire there is. You can't rattle me.
And you having to be across from Newbon as Astarion, it's great that you made that choice because you knew what his energy level was going to be.
Yeah, and we're friends, and I knew we'd play off of each other well.
Have a good contrast, yeah.
And I also, of course, knew Sam and Brennan, and so kind of knew what everybody was playing and felt like this is going to be a good composition for our story.
Yeah.
With Karlak and with Astarion being the, obviously a little more of the focus, but then Brennan, who I've played with before and love and could not love more, and is just, he can do no wrong. And then Abria running the whole thing. That, speaking of someone who is all about having the fun.
Oh, yeah.
The second Abria walks in a room, I light up because I'm like, oh, this room is about to pop off because Abria is here.
Abria has such a presence.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
And I love, and it's in both live and on film.
Yes, and just
Kills
in
it.
life.
Yeah.
I love that she steps into a room and she's like, I love you. You're in my world. You are welcome here. I love you. I'm going to mess with your head. This is going to be awesome, and I love it for both of us.
That was one of the most chaotic shows I've ever produced. It was also my favorite one.
It was so much fun.
And you didn't even tell me about the costume reveal or anything like that.
No. I think the only person who knew about that was Abria.
Okay.
Yeah. Surprise.
Do you have advice for because sometimes people feel like they need to do these amazing voices, and the best advice that I ever got was from Chris Perkins for characters. Coming up with characters was, think of a character, and you're probably not going to be good at it. So no one's going to know that you're trying to do a Bane impression or something.
Yes, of course.
You relax about that. Try to think of someone you really want to kind of shoot for this, but you'll not necessarily hit it, and then you'll still do a fantastic job.
Yeah, for me, and especially when people are playing D&D or any other TTRPGs, I did a video with Jeannie D about this as well, where I'm like, if you're not a voices person, don't do the voices.
Yeah.
Voices don't make the character. Sometimes they are helpful to get people to understand a character's size or a character's demeanor or whatever, but really identifying the main traits that make that character who they are. The language that a character uses is as much a part of their voice, capital V, as their voice is. And so, yeah, you can do little voices like this, or you can just talk and say things that make it clear that this character is perhaps diminutive or young or whatever. And again, Abria is such a great example of that because she doesn't do voices, she does. This is what the character is.
Yeah.
This is who the character is, and you have no question who you're talking to
you're right.
when she gets on stage. You have absolutely no question.
It's interesting how you talked about you don't have to do voices, but that can be a solution for energy around the table.
Absolutely. And if it is something that you want to try, I just absolutely say go for it. And this may be an unpopular thing for me to say, but if there are no cameras on and you are at a table and all of your players are cool with it, try accents.
Yeah.
Try them. As long as everybody is comfortable with it, there is no wrong answer to exploring new things, new voices, new characters, new parts of who you are. That's part of the fun of this game, is getting to try new stuff in a safe space.
Yeah.
So if someone came to my table and was like, hey, you cool with me trying an Indian accent? I'd be like, knock yourself out. This is the safe place to do it. I don't know if you want to try that on the internet, but you can try it at my table. You can try it at my table because it's a safe space. And so for me, voices are definitely one way in, especially when the physicality of a character is not an option. If we're not walking around and I'm not wearing the shoes of the character, which is something that is big for me when I'm playing a character on TV or in the theater. But the voice is very much a part of it for me, because one of the things I click into is, what does this person sound like?
Yeah.
For me, but it doesn't have to be the way in for everybody.
Now, I brought it up because we had a very high energy game, and my wife Megan, she was having trouble keeping up with that energy level because she is by nature a more soft-spoken, quieter person, which would do great on Critical Role or other shows that have a more measured approach. And she discovered that she had to play her character Whittle, who sounds like
Natasha Lyonne.
my wife realized she had to play basically a gnome that sounds like Tasha.
So she kind of has a rough voice.
Yeah,
a little
she has to play
bit of a rough
Natasha
voice.
Lyonne and have this big gravelly voice and a little bit of Bill Burr.
Amazing.
And then her energy level is like almost above everybody else.
And getting the sense that you are playing something other than yourself,
Yeah.
that definitely helps.
Why
Because
do
you
you
can be a little broader.
Why do you enjoy role playing so much? And how did you get involved in this?
Involved in role-playing games or
Yeah,
involved
yeah,
in
in live
role-playing
play.
in life? The live play stuff happened pretty late in life because it happened when I came back to gaming. So I started playing D&D when I was 8
Yeah.
because my brother gave me the basic set and I fell in love with it, and then I bogarted his second edition books, and then I was off to the races. But I didn't start doing live actual play stuff until like 2017-18 with Geek and Sundry, and then with Critical Role, and with Dimension 20. And when I came back to TTRPGs, I was like, oh, there's a whole world of people who are turning this into real live entertainment. And that really stuck with me, and that was really something that was really exciting to me because it was a new way to play the game.
Are there big takeaways, because you've had quite the live play career, that you've had about just characters in general, or what you've enjoyed the most? Because you were on a Marvel show, like which, by the way,
oh yeah,
every time I watch, what have you taken away for like the best advice for playing games, running games, all of it, the experience of it? It has to be unique to acting and voice acting.
I mean, I really think just commitment to the whole story. I think a lot of people get caught up either when their actors get caught up in their own lines or their own work, get so caught up in the me of it all, or in the me contribution. But TTRPGs are such a great example of how to focus on the story that is the bigger picture. And we absolutely need to do that in film and television. You focus on the big picture story because that's what the audience is going to have. And you are one part of a very big thing that lives around you. And it has to be that way when you're playing TTRPGs because you are one part of that party. You're only one part. You can't take the story over.
One thing I do want to ask that's a little outside acting and voice acting is, you are such an overwhelmingly positive, energetic person. Do you have like a life philosophy that you can impart to people who are like watching this video?
Success through lowered expectations. Set the bar low. I know it sounds ridiculous. That's one thing. Is as long as you do something new and you don't die, you have taught yourself that you can do that new thing. And then you build more trust in yourself, and then you build more trust in yourself. So if you step into uncomfortable situations and survive them, that just gives you more confidence to try new things. And as far as being positive, in terms of a philosophy of life, I just want everyone to know they're not alone, because I know my worst decisions that I ever made in my life were because I thought I was alone and no one understood me when I was younger. And now it is like my life mission to make sure everybody knows that there is literally a seat at the table for you if you're playing a game, that you are never alone. And part of that is just sharing the joy with other people of everything that you do.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Thank you so much for taking the time. We don't get to talk enough.
I know, I love it. I love that we just got to catch up.
We just love tiny little texts.
And now we got to get out of the way of these
we have to
beautiful
get out of the way
gentlemen
of the
that I love
dungeon
so
dudes.
much. Bye.
Very quickly. They've been so patient. We're going to leave this part in the video. Say hi, dungeon dudes.
Hi, dungeon dudes. Oh, look, my baby.
How's it going? We're just here to crash the party.
Would you please crash every party that I'm
I
ever
think
at?
we crashed their party, actually.
Oh, yeah, we totally crashed their party.
We're doing some both
counter
sides.
crashing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. They're counter crashing, y'all.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and leave a comment. That all helps the channel. And we have a Patreon page where that's how we fund creating these videos, flying around the country and affording the equipment to do these interviews. And we also make playtest material as well. Thank you so much for watching.